Hello guys, and welcome to my new video. This time, because I was asked by some people, I would like to share with you my tips and tricks how to prepare to an exam. Recently, I've set my last exam during this semester. I hope that I passed it, but I'm still waiting for the results. And I would like to share with you the method of how I was learning. Usually for the exams we have a lot of things to do, so our teachers, professors ask us to study the notes, to read some assigned readings, and those assigned readings are like, a little bit too much sometimes, because the professors don't tend to limit the reading to one book. It has fallen. But they give us more. So, how to organize this stuff? First of all, learn. Many people think that, it's too much, so they don't learn at all. It's better to study your notes or just to start reading any kind of presentation that the professor provided you with, because something is better than nothing. So first of all, learn. Don't watch a TV series, don't watch a film, don't go on a party. Try to learn at least something. Next thing, while you're learning, try to categorize. Yes, try to put categories to what you're reading, what you're studying. For example, it's better to remember about the Fleer and the poem His Coy Mistress when you put a category, a label to it, sex. Then you can put another label to Hamlet and Beowulf, like revenge, and others to other, and then you put everything together. So at least you get quite fast the most important thing, what the poem is about when you're revising. Second thing is to make notes. We have problem with how to make notes. I started making my notes when I was preparing for the exam in a very traditional way, which I don't find very good, and it looked like this. I literally copied parts of the presentation, copied parts of books, and in fact I was starting to write a next textbook, and I realized after one page that I didn't remember anything. So it was just a waste of time. Later I decided to use mind maps. So when I was studying a piece of reading or material or presentation, I decided to organize what I was learning into a mind map, and it resulted like this. Maybe you can see it. It was definitely better because I remembered what I've done. I had to build a kind of structure in what I was learning, so my mind could remember the information better. Third thing, as I've shown you, the amount of reading can be a little bit too much for you, but anyway, you struggle and you read. Yes, the professor asks you to read everything. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's a very good strategy, because especially if all this material is new to you, it would be like trying to learn everything at one go. What's better is to find the readings that are simpler, that cover the same thing, maybe not in so many details, but they can just give you the general overview about the topic. I used a simple method to do it. So when I was learning the history of Britain, I just googled history of Britain PDF, and I found some very simple files about the history of Britain, like this one. It's just several pages. I've read it as a kind of general concept, general overview of what I have to learn. So then learning later was just adding information to this structure, to this basis. It really helped. Fourth tip is to look for problems, because if you just read it and you try to remember everything as it is, We know it's difficult. But when you look for problems, when you start asking questions, you make your brain start thinking. When you read something, ask yourself how your professor could ask for this particular part during the exam. Think, find problems for yourself. Okay, oh, this is interesting for me. The topic of revenge, for example, or sex. Okay, we have sex today too, but the idea of sex was a little bit different in Middle Ages, was different in Victorian times. So how was it reflected in poetry, for example? How was it reflected in history and philosophy, etc., whatever you're learning? It can really help you if you look for problems and you try to solve them. Number 5, compare. Comparing is great. Comparing helps you build new knowledge on the basis of something you have. For example, when you're learning the history of British literature, compare it to, I'm from Poland, so the history of the Polish literature, it really helps. Some things were similar, so okay, British Romanticism, Polish Romanticism, more or less the same. So you already know quite a lot about British Romanticism. You just put a new label to things you learned at high school. Number 7, just go to the exam. Some people think that it's useless. If they haven't learned anything, there's no need to go to the exam because they don't feel very confident. So, some people don't go to the exam because they don't feel very confident. And this is a mistake, I think. Because first of all, you've learned something. If you did at least something, you know something. You were present at the lectures, so you've heard something. You've studied this material even for 5 hours before the exam, you learned something. If you're going to resit the exam anyway, so why not try to go there, look at the questions, see how the exam is organized, so then it would be easier for you to learn for the second term. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you liked the video. If you have some tips and tricks and your ideas how to prepare for exams, just leave them in the comments. I would really like to know them. It would help me probably with my studies. And if you liked the video, please subscribe. So thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. Cheers. Bye bye. Cheers. Bye bye. Cheers. You're sexy.